Greetings. There is no Goth royalty. There is no Goth hierarchy. There is no Goth elite. There have been times in the past, probably all the way back to the beginning of our culture, when people have laughingly called themselves a Goth king or queen or something to that effect. But it's always been understood that these things are done in jest. Now we have a whole slew of not only individuals who are making these claims, and to all appearances, these are being claimed unironically. Not only individuals, but there are also companies that are beginning to cater towards this perception. And all of the above are beginning to use hashtags like upper class goth, goth royalty, things like that. When these individuals and these assembly line peddling goth stores use these terms unironically, they're full of themselves and they're full of shit. At first glance, it's not really a big deal, but when you contemplate the depth of the claims, it's insidious. It suggests that those who are fitting their conventional ideal of beauty, the thin and the rich, can not only buy themselves into the goth culture, but that these same things, these things that come from outside the culture, these beauty standards based on normal American lifestyle, that those somehow elevate these goths above others. And it's not just other people. It's that it elevates them above other goths. And that's fucking classist bullshit. Why should we care? Shh. Nephilim. Let people like the things they like. No, fuck that. This is different. This is important because these types of people have existed in the goth scene before, in the past. But they didn't have social media platforms that ensured their shit ideals are disseminated to literally hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Now, there are a lot of very authentic and realistic goths that I've met and that I know over my years, here online and otherwise. And those that are on YouTube, their subscriber numbers kind of max out right around 25,000, 30,000 people. Though most of us have far more humble numbers, like myself. But what this means is that the shallow, self-proclaimed upper crust, they're the ones being heard. And those who are authentically goth are not. It's their interpretation, the interpretation of these people who are creating this false sense of class within the culture. Their interpretation of goth is what people are seeing. And that's people outside the culture who, granted, I couldn't give two shits about. We know that. But it also is being heard by those who are just new to the culture. And they're looking to find out what exactly this whole goth thing is about. These are the people they're seeing. In truth, DIY outfits are 1,000 times more authentic than anything you can buy at Infectious Threads, which is a company known to use these types of hashtags on their sales and promotions. Those stores sell costumes. They sell goth costumes. Now, that's not entirely a condemnation. Sometimes you can do a lot of interesting things with a costume to tailor it to your own individual style. But wearing it right off the rack, you're wearing a costume. And if you did buy it at a place like Infectious Threads, you probably paid a hell of a lot more for it than you would have if you had picked up something equally as customizable at a thrift store. Most of the clothes involved are indistinguishable in their fashion sense than that of the mainstream. It's laughable to even call these things goth. Laughable. I will fawn over a goth who looks like she just stepped out from a classic black and white horror film in an elegantly decayed wedding dress, dyed black. Any day of the week. Before I even bother with a glance at some poser wearing a mass-produced, shitty, trash fabric dress from Jawbreaker with Kat Von D all over her face. This upper-class bullshit doesn't show who you are. It shows what you idolize. And if you idolize classist, mainstream concepts of beauty and social superiority of the rich, then I personally doubt your authenticity as a goth. I'm no serf. I'm no peasant. No goth is above me, and no goth is above you. Thank you.